Mackenzie. Janet Mackenzie.
Janet Mackenzie.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence that I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Carter! Bill!
Your name is Janet Mackenzie?
Aye, that's my name.
When did you first come to London?
That was many years ago. 28 years ago.
Where do you live?
Now that Mrs. French, poor soul, is dead, I've moved in with my niece at 19 Glenister Road.
You were companion housekeeper to the late Mrs. Emily French.
I was her housekeeper. I've no opinion of companions, poor feckless bodies, afraid to do a bit of honest domestic work.
Quite. What I meant was you were on friendly terms, not altogether those of a mistress and a servant.
Aye. 10 years I was with her and looked after her. She knew me and she trusted me. Oh, many's the time I prevented her doing a foolish thing.
Please tell us in your own words about the events of the evening of October the 14th.
It was a Friday and my night out. I was going round to see my niece at Glenister Road, which is about 5 minutes' walk. I left the house at 7:30. I promised to take her a dress pattern that she admired. Oh, is this thing necessary?
An excellent question. However, it has been installed at considerable expense to the taxpayers, so let us take advantage of it. Please continue.
Well, when I got to my niece's, I found it left the pattern behind. So after supper, I slipped back to get it, as it was no distance. I got back to the house at 9:25. I let myself in and went upstairs to my room. As I passed the sitting room, I heard the prisoner in there talking to Mrs. French.
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't my voice.
Talking and laughing they were. But it was no business of mine, so I went upstairs and I fetched my pattern.
Now, let us be very exact as to the time. You say that you re-entered the house at 9:25?
Aye, the pattern was on a shelf in my room next to my clock, so I saw the time. And it was 9:25.
Go on, please.
I went back to my niece. Oh, she was delighted with the pattern. Simply delighted. I stayed there until 11:20, and then I said goodnight to them and I come home. I went into the sitting room then to see if the mistress wanted anything before she went to bed. And there she was, dead, and everything tossed hither and thither.
Did you really think that a burglary had been committed?
My lord, I must protest.
I will not allow that question to be answered, Mr. Myers.
Miss Mackenzie, were you aware that Leonard Vole was a married man?
No, indeed. And neither was the mistress.
Janet! My lord, I must object. What Mrs. French knew or did not know is pure conjecture on Janet Mackenzie's part.
Let me put it this way. You formed the opinion that Mrs. French thought Leonard Vole was a single man. Have you any facts to support that opinion?
Well, there were the books that she ordered. There was the life of the Baroness Burdett Coutts, and the one about Disraeli and his wife. Both of them about women that married men years younger than themselves. Oh, I knew what she was thinking.
I'm afraid we cannot admit that.
Why?
Members of the jury, it is possible for a woman to read the life of Disraeli without about contemplating marriage with a man younger than herself?
Miss Mackenzie, were you aware of what arrangements Mrs. French had made for the disposal of her money?
She had her old will revoked and a new one drawn up. I heard her calling Mr. Stokes the solicitor. He was there at the time. The prisoner, I mean.
You heard Mrs. French and the prisoner discussing her new will?
Yes, he was to have all her money, she told him, as she had no near relations, nor anybody that meant to her what he did.
When did this take place?
On October the 8th. 1 week to the day before she was murdered.
Thank you. That concludes my examination.